Hi, thank you for joining me. It's Karen here. Today I thought we'd carry on with our Christmas card countdown, and today we're going to be doing just using one colour straight from the pan, and it's just going to be really nice and simple and easy. I've taken my watercolour paper down because I thought it would be easier for you to follow rather than me swinging it around. So I'll put everything in the description below, and I'm going to be using a phthalo green. Now I'm going to be painting a kind of a Christmas tree shape, but I'm not going to be drawing any lines. Now if you prefer, you can just lightly put in your Christmas tree. It's just a triangle, very lightly, just to give you where you want to put your. Effectively, it's going to be all greenery, all kind of festive stuff like that. So I'll put everything in the all the materials I use in the description below. And first of all, I'm just going to start with just some holly. Now at this moment we're just blocking in, okay? So I'm just putting my shape of my holly in. Now I'm letting all the paint run out of my brush because that will help me with the values, okay? And just leaving a little bit of white space. And just giving a little flick on the end just to accentuate that it's holly. Okay, now this is painting straight onto dry watercolour paper. I'm not going to get bogged down with wetting the paper. I'm not doing wet on wet on this occasion. Now for the top of my tree, I'm just going to put a nice festive leaf. Now you can put as many at the top of your tree as you'd like, but I think it's just a nice quiet alternative so maybe all the glitz and glitter and stuff. And maybe you've got a friend or a member of your family that's a little bit more understated and likes something a little bit more softer. Okay, now you can go out as far as you want on your paper, out as far as you like. I'm just gonna keep it contained. Now if you've got a little bit of a space, you can do these lovely fill-ins, and they're great. It's just little twig like images, and just work your way around. Now if you wanted to introduce another colour, absolutely you could, or if you'd like to use a darker colour, but keep it in the same family, that's often nice nice to do. And also you can put some little florets in just to what I'm going to do is I'm kind of dotting about, because I want to give the illusion of a trunk, really, but it's a suggestion. It's just the shape. Now, I didn't leave any white space on there, so I'm just going to block that out and redo it. Okay. For some reason I've got really poor circulation in my fingers today, and I am struggling a little bit, to be honest. I'm finding it a little bit tricky to hold my brush. I'm basically a fair weather person. I don't do cold very well. Should live in a warmer climate, really, shouldn't I? But hey, it is what it is, as they say. So I'm just going to now put another sweep down here. The holly is kind of it's the main, I wouldn't say the main character in our painting, but it does give it gravitas, and it does give it body and structure of our painting. So if you put your big elements or your larger elements in first, then that's always good. Now I'm thinking about the corners of my tree. Now, if you're not very comfortable with doing leaves and foliage, I do have a video covering that. So if you just have a look through my other videos, it might help you, because we do go into it a little bit more in depth. Okay, now don't forget, don't put too much water on your brush. We want to keep it nice and creamy, really, because we want to cover the paper quite thoroughly. But I feel it's important that you do use your paint that you've got on your brush. It will really help you with your values, and you'll get a really nice painterly feel. Okay, now I think I'm going to put, let's put another. Don't be precious about your holly, because holly isn't perfectly symmetrical, is it, when it grows in nature? So don't give yourself a hard time about all my, the thorns or the prickles on or the edges of my holly need to be absolutely precise. No, we're just we're just giving a suggestion. Okay, so we just keep moving around our paper. We can I don't want to put too many holly leaves in. I want to kind of keep it nice and varied, but in the same theme, if that makes sense. Now I've left some white space in that leaf. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Again, I'm just going to and we're just filling in now where we've been. I think I'm going to put another holly leaf in there because I'd left quite a large space there, so I kind of figuring, yeah, I wanna fill that up. So if you've got some larger spaces on your painting, then yeah, fill that in. Okay. Now we're constantly looking and seeing what space we've got. Just putting a few of these little they're quite nice, and even let's just put some in that, you know, these lovely wispy. It really does help with our composition. And you know, just pop your and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put a nice kind of arc movement to suggest that you know, we have got just so basically we can see the shape of what we've been painting. So I'm just going to now, the holly leaf is very forgiving. If you think I've made this a little bit too bulbous, then it is very forgiving. And again, I've omitted to put my white space in, which is important because it defines, it actually defines our holly leaf a little bit better for us. Okay. I'll go back into that when that's a little bit drier. I think I'll put one of these lovely leafy pieces there. Now we've got quite a big gap here, so I'm thinking I'm just going to put an arc in there. Now you can decide whether you want to bring a holly leaf back into the center of your painting, or whether you want to fill it up with smaller elements. It's absolutely up to you, but I kind of like to fill the larger elements that I'm putting in my painting. It just helps me put the smaller images in. Now it's starting to fill up quite nicely now, so I'm going to put another arc in there, and I'm going to do a tighter leaf. Well, it's a branch with some little leaves coming off of it, only because I think it lends itself to that. Okay, and we have got a little bit of a space here, so I think I'm going to put some of those lovely wispy flores in, and here I'm going to put in some of those lovely little nod to berries, really. Okay, and I've got stray hair on my brush. That's gone now, that's good. Now if you want to go back in to sharpen up your lighter elements that you've put down, you can do that. I don't think I'm going to do that, because I like the way that I've got different tones in my work. So I'm just going to put some little, and just fill up where you think I've got a space, and I'd like to fill that up. Okay, and I think I'm just going to put now I'm just going to put a much creamier consistency of paint, and I'm just going to slip in these lovely little wisps, I suppose I call them. Okay. You can leave some that don't have you're just doing little circles in there. That's quite sweet as well. It's just filling up your space. Now I'm going to take my masking tape, my washi tape off, just to show you what we've got. And I think when you've been painting cards and you've done lots of fun Christmassy ones, sometimes to do something which is a little bit more sedated. Now I've just seen that for me that looks a little bit unbalanced here, so I'm just gonna flick that round. Okay, just to give it a little bit more. Well, I do hope you give this a go. It is lots of fun and it's very simple, and I think it's quite effective. It would also be nice to do this on a black card with maybe a metallic paint. That would really stand out. But I think this is a nice, different kind of card to send for somebody who's just a little bit more understated. Anyway, I'll say goodbye and take care, and see you again soon. Bye.